Physical Science 5.3, Using Thermal Energy. What are some common types of heating systems? What are the first and second laws of thermodynamics? How does an internal combustion engine work? And how does a refrigerator work? The simplest and earliest heating system was probably a campfire. Later, people began burning wood and coal in stoves and furnaces to keep warm. Burning material transforms chemical energy into thermal energy. Conduction, convection, and radiation then transfer this thermal energy from the stove to the surrounding air. One disadvantage of the system is that energy transfers from the room in which the stove is located to other rooms in the building, and that can be really slow. So if I'm in the living room and I have a bedroom right next to the living room, and my little sister is in the bedroom 20 feet away, her bedroom's going to be freezing while I'm going to be feeling just fine. And if my parents make it hot enough that she's not freezing her toes off at night, I'm going to be sweating buckets. So it's not really the most efficient system.
In this system, fuel is burned in a furnace and heats a volume of air. A fan then blows the warm air through a series of large pipes called ducts. The ducts lead to openings called vents in each room. Cool air returns to the furnace through additional vents where it is reheated.
So what you just saw is a traditional heating system that we use today. There's another way to increase the thermal energy of an object besides heating it. Have you ever rubbed your hands together to warm them on a cold day? Your hands get warmer and their temperature increases even though you're not heating them near a fire or a stove. You do work to increase your hands' thermal energy, right? It's called friction. Thermal energy, heat, and work are all related. In thermodynamics, that's the study of the relationship between thermal energy, heat, and work. A couch can be a system. If you define the couch in this figure as the system, then everything else is the surroundings. Work is done on this system by pushing the couch along the floor. As the couch slides along the floor, it heats the floor slightly through friction. The work done on this system is about equal to the heat from the system. The total energy is nearly constant. So remember that a system's mechanical energy is related to the motion of the objects in that system, as well as the interactions between the objects of that system. A system's thermal energy is related to the motions and interactions of all the particles in that system. And because there are far more particles than objects in a system, thermal energy is spread among more particles than objects than mechanical energy. As a result, mechanical energy tends to transform into thermal energy. Therefore, it is not possible to completely convert thermal energy back into mechanical energy. Burning fuel in the engine cylinders transforms chemical energy into thermal energy that is then converted into mechanical energy. As the pistons here move up and down, the crankshaft, transmission, and differential convert the up and down motion of the pistons into rotation of the wheels. So the energy created here ends up going through there.
Device that is able to convert thermal energy to mechanical energy continuously is called a heat engine. A heat engine requires a high-temperature source from which thermal energy can be removed, a low-temperature receptacle called a sink into which thermal energy can be delivered, and a way to convert the thermal energy into work. An automobile internal combustion engine is an example of a heat engine. In the engine, a mixture of air and gasoline vapor is ignited and produces a high-temperature flame. Input heat, QH, flows from the flame to the air in the cylinder. The hot air expands and pushes on a piston, thereby changing thermal energy into mechanical energy. To obtain continuous mechanical energy, the engine must be returned to its starting condition. The heated air is expelled and replaced by new air, and the piston is returned to the top of the cylinder. The entire cycle is repeated many times each minute. The thermal energy from the burning of gasoline is converted into mechanical energy, which eventually results in the movement of the car.
You may think that the answer is no due to the second law of thermodynamics when it comes to doing work to transfer thermal energy. However, thermal energy can be transferred from a cooler area to a warmer area if work is done in the process. Refrigerators and air conditioners, such as the one seen here, are function based on this principle.